You can only weigh it this way.
I know. Yeah, that dog would not. Hey, if you guys didn't know, Mama just dumped this one on me after dinner. Mama Jackson did. Dark chocolate Hostess. Holy crap. Never seen these before. So I finished dinner at least this time before I went online, and I'll just have my dessert, which is this dark chocolate Hostess. What's on the inside? What is this?
Raspberry.
It's got a raspberry filling. Awesome. 16 days out. Just over 2 weeks away from incarceration day. That's right, Anna. Holy shit balls. A lot of people are helping. There's a lot going on right now. So a couple things that you can look for. On the Restoring Freedom page, we're going to create an event for January 20th. A lot of you guys have expressed interest in coming out. That'd be awesome. Courthouse is the 19th Judicial Circuit, Lake County, Illinois, in Waukegan. That's spelled W-A-U-K-E-G-A-N, Waukegan, Illinois. January 20th, 9 a.m., courtroom C, as in Charlie, 105. Tell Whisper I said hello, my #1 fan. So we're going to create an event for it. We're going to put that up. Brian, I'll call you whenever I'm done with this feed, bud. Somebody I think is going to set up a crowdsource funding. So I know a lot of people have said, you know, they're willing to help me pay the purge. And Harry Kelly, well, you better be there on the 20th then, douche nugget. In your uniform, Harry, in full dress medals, because I got told if I wore mine, the Department of Justice was going to get called on me. I'm kind of scatterbrained this evening. I'm tired. So somebody's going to set up. I can pay part of the purge. The purge amount's $3,700. The full thing is like $6,700, and but that's for. Let me show you something real fast. You guys are gonna get kicked out of this shit. Hold on. I'm gonna show you how fucked up and corrupt these assholes are. Hold on. Let me show you something. Y'all are gonna like this. Nah. You got it? No, I'm fine. I got it. Alright, so I'm gonna hold it a little ways back. Alright, so the amount that the $6,700 that I owe, many people are under the impression I'm not paying child support. That's incorrect. They're taking over $900 a month out of my check, which goes directly to, well, to my knowledge. I mean, after it comes out of my check, it goes to the state. They pilfer whatever money they got to pilfer off of it before they send it to her. My oldest son in North Carolina, who I'm supposed to pay $500 a month on, I have not been able to pay that for nearly a year since this new child support order went into effect. Because there's no way, even on $70,000 a year, when I made $70,000 a year, could I pay $2,500 a month in child support? Because I had rent, car payment, utilities, maxed out credit card, attorney fees that were through the freaking roof. Just daily living expenses. There's no way I could even on $70,000 a year. I don't know what some idiots don't get. Like, how many of you fucking people could honestly afford $2,500 a month in child support? The average American. That's like 2 fucking mortgages. No. So my older son, since they put that in Illinois, when they put that support order in place, I could no longer send his mother $500 a month. But what I said I would do is I would sign over 12 months of my Montgomery GI Bill, my post 9/11 Montgomery GI Bill, which would provide around $30,000 in tuition benefits and housing benefits for him for a year. In lieu of the child support, I could no longer pay her because the one in Illinois was set so astronomically high. Now, the one in Illinois, I couldn't reimburse for child care and extracurricular activities. But I was still giving her, at that time, over $1,100 a month to my 2 younger children's mother here. $1,160 is what was coming out. Now, since I've retired, and my retirement check is now right around $1,600 or $1,700. I don't know the exact amount. It's $1,600 or $1,700. They take out $900 and some change. Again. Now look, let me show you this. So number one, I've offered to do childcare. Every single time, at every turn, I've offered to do childcare so that she doesn't incur the expense, so that my children aren't sitting in one of the 4 or 5 different babysitters she uses. Never know where they're going to be. I never have any idea which babysitter they're going to be with or where any of these people live. No contact information on them, no nothing. But here's what she's supposed to do. Provide me with a receipt for reimbursement. Here's the receipt I get. This is a copy of a written out check, right? These are copies of written out checks that she wrote. Nowhere showing that they were cashed. Nowhere. Doesn't show that what services were rendered. You see, the IRS has requirements for what has to be on a receipt. And sending me a picture of a check you wrote out is not a receipt. Period. It's like showing me a picture of a $100 bill. That's the form of payment. That's not the receipt. That doesn't show me anywhere that it was ever cashed. But that's their proof. And the judge, and I called him on it. I'm like, that is not a receipt. And in no way, shape, or form is this a legal receipt. It's not even the carbon copy part. I mean, it's not. You know what I mean? That's what I'm providing. And I'm not going to reimburse you for that. No. Not only do I not have the money, but this isn't even a legitimate receipt. It's a picture of a check you wrote out. How do I even know that was even cashed? How do I even know that they were actually there? I don't know. Negative. Not paying that. But the judge said, no, it's fine. That's good. What else? Yeah, I'm not reimbursing that shit. Moreover, well, it's not an actual daycare facility. It's individual people that watch the kids. That's all that it is.
Talk to your child about cocaine.
Yeah. They talk to my children about cocaine and watch inappropriate movies with them. But they can't play Pixel Gun or watch Monster High at my house. So anyways, 16 days out from lockup. We'll see what happens. If you guys can come, please do come. Yeah, that's awesome. Send a picture of the child support check. I like that idea. They don't give me right of first refusal, despite the fact that I've asked for it time and time again. But you know what's really funny about that? Is they filed contempt charges against me in the past for not giving her right of first refusal, yet her dumbass attorney, the last one she had, Laura Horner, those fucking idiots, it was in the paperwork. It was in the parenting agreement to have right of first refusal. But the day of court, they crossed it out and said only for overnights. They did that. Only for overnights. If you can't exercise your overnight parenting time, then you must exercise. Then I must give right of first refusal, or she must give it to me. But yet, so they crossed that shit out. But then they try to hold me in contempt for not giving her right of first refusal when I went on a date with Marina. I took Marina to dinner one night. Yet she lets our children would let our children sit at a child care center or with a babysitter for, I don't know, 20, 30 hours a week when they could have been with me. So wouldn't have had to spend any money, and the children would have been with their father. I've offered that from the get-go. To you idiots who say, this is for the idiots, right? Because some of you people are just dumb as fuck. Hey, dogs are wanting to fight over here. Some people are just, you're so stupid it blows my mind. I don't know how some of you get up and tie your fucking shoes in the morning. You must still be wearing Velcro. Where have I ever said I don't want to support my kids? Look, dumbass. Okay, yeah, it takes two people to make a child. It takes, ideally you would have moms and dads there to raise the kids. That would be ideal. That's not always the case. But you dumb fucks who keep saying, oh, well, it took two to make the child, so you need to support your children. Okay, dumbass. What do you call this fucking roof right here? What do you call this? You know the lights that are on right now? What do you call that? What do you call the food in my refrigerator? What about the vehicle that I have to pay for that I pick my children up with and take them to their extracurricular activities that I don't have a say in? What about that? What about the love and the support and the mentoring and raising and showing my children a proper upbringing? What about that? Is that not support to you? See, what you really want to say is that, no, you need to pay. You're only good for your money. Okay, you should have zero say in the raising of the children you help to make. You should have no say in that. So let's just be fucking real about this and what you people want to say to me, but you don't because you lack the fucking testicular fortitude to do it. What you really want to fucking say is no. And it's men and women alike. This isn't just women. I'll tell you that right now. Plenty of men too. What you want is one person to be solely responsible or to fork out the majority of the money. Why is it in our society that one parent can't be responsible for their home and I can't be responsible for mine? I'm responsible for my home, my living expenses here, where the children come, spend time. They've been here a lot these last 2 weeks, mainly during the day. I've only had a couple overnights during the Christmas vacation, but I had a lot of great time with them during the day. Just like today, I played Zombie Dad for part of the day.
5 freaking hours.
For like 5 hours, I was a zombie today. That is raising my children. Being a father who loves my kids, who wants to teach them and watch them grow and to teach them right from wrong, that is being a father. Me sending $2,000+ a month to a woman that makes over $85,000 a year, yet you still come up with some lame brain fuck duck argument that I need to pay. Pay what, dumbass? What the fuck do I need to pay? If I remember correctly, it was my 20 years of deployments and military service that has given my children the opportunity to go to college.
Medical.
It provides full medical benefits for them that she doesn't have to pay. And a lot of you know how much fucking medical costs these days with Obamacare, if you can afford it at all. So my military service will help to pay for their college education if they so choose to go, or trade school or whatever. My military service helps to pay for or pays for their medical care. And they have a facility, a very nice facility right up the fucking road here that my children can go to if they need to see a doctor. I provide a home. I provide everything that they need. I go to their school. I have lunches with them at their school. I go to their activities when they have, I go to their gymnastics or taekwondo. I support them there. Even though, like, my son doesn't want to do taekwondo anymore. He wants to do football. But that's too dangerous, according to her. Either way, I support my children there. I help them with their homework. So you tell me what the fuck else I'm supposed to do. You really just want to justify one person having to fork out money to somebody else who doesn't fucking need it or deserve it. Child support is not a fucking entitlement program, you retards. It's not an entitlement program. It is meant for children. It was really meant for, I'm not mad, Kristen. I just call them like I see them. It was meant for when you had so many stay-at-home moms, and then you had dads who came back or from their military service to help to support and raise those children. That's what it was really intended for, right? When men were off at war, serving the fucking country that's supposed to be providing freedoms to its citizens, it was made, child support was initially made so that those women who were still here on the home front, taking care of the home and the children, when the men were off in fucking war, getting their asses shot off, so that they were receiving money from their military paycheck. That's where child support initially originated from, many, many eons ago. But what it's turned into is an entitlement program for self-serving, stupid mofos who think that they deserve somebody else's hard-earned money. That they didn't have you didn't do one thing to earn any of that money. Zero. Nothing. But we've permitted this for this long. And that's why it's such an uphill battle now to rectify these wrongs. Yeah, we have no idea where the child support even goes. I mean, here, like when my ex, complains about, oh, woe is me, I don't have any fucking money. She did the same thing, guess what? To the fiance that she ghosted. If you don't know what ghosting is, look it up. The fiance that she ghosted, she did that, oh, woe is me, I don't have any money, my ex-husband doesn't send any money. Didn't really tell him about the over $85,000 a year she was making. Didn't tell him about the nearly $1,200 a month in child support she was getting at that time. So making over $100,000 a year and had no money. Well, maybe if you weren't forking it out on these fucktard attorneys that just steal money out of our kids' mouths, maybe then you would have some fucking money. Dummy-o. But then you got, my daughter who runs around. Have you guys ever looked at those American Girl dolls? I'm not for these things at all. These American Girl dolls, how much does that doll cost? Marina? It's like $130 or $150 just for this stupid doll. Over $100 for a fucking doll. The little glasses, little plastic glasses that go on the doll, like $10. Every accessory, the shirts and pants, it's like shopping at the fucking Gap for a doll. Like $20-something for this small shirt that goes on the doll. All said and done, she's invested like $500 to $1,000 in accessories for a fucking doll. A doll. But I'm the fucked up parent? Are we serious here? It fucking kills me. It kills me. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, again, this isn't about child support. It's the principle of the matter. It's the principle of the fact that we take two parents, we pit them in this game of war in the battlefield that we call a courthouse, and we have these arenas of combat that are overseen by this fucking gatekeeper in a black robe and fucking clowns in suits, many of them in pantsuits like Laura Horner, that will compete at see who can tell the most lies, can twist the most shit, can bring the most destruction to one person's image and their livelihood, while simultaneously draining your life savings and your children's college fund. And we let these assholes do it to us. There's a story in Aurora, Colorado right now. I saw today. Some of you guys might have seen it. In Aurora, Colorado today, saw a news report out of there. A 20-year United States Army veteran, retired Army veteran. The Veterans Administration is garnishing, I believe, $1,300 of his retirement check to go to child support for a child that's already been proven with a paternity test not to be his. I mean, these are the types of fucking idiotic things that we have to deal with. It's absurd. When all we want is just to be moms and dads. Do I got a potty mouth? You damn right I do. I got a potty mouth and I'm not ashamed of it. I got it honest. Mama Jackson gave it to me. I don't curse in front of my children. My children learn their curse words on the school bus and at the babysitter's house watching rated R movies. At the babysitter that I'm supposed to reimburse for, even though I'm right down the road to watch my kids. We have parents who want to be fully involved in their kids' lives, but yet we have a system that is hell-bent on not enforcing any parenting orders, on ignoring constitutional rights, on dragging men and women through the ringer, who just want to be parents to their children. Johnny Panko, quit messaging me. I'll call you in a minute. Are playing video games that are way too mature. They've told me about these video games that they see at their mother's friend's house that they go to.
She doesn't have friends.
She has fellow extortionists that she hangs out with. I got my chocolate milk. That's why I'm all ramped up this evening. All 50 states are a soup sandwich, all 50 of them. Missouri and a couple other states are beginning to lead the way with some reform. But it's at a snail's pace. It's at a snail's fucking pace to get this reform done. You know, I encourage all young men and women to not have children until the system is changed. Because it's so broken that, God forbid, your relationship fails, what's going to happen to you as a young mom or young dad? You're going to be thrust into something you don't understand and your lives ripped apart unnecessarily. So on January 20th, again, I'm going to go back in front of Judge Joseph Salvi, assuming he's there, because a lot of times they take golfing breaks or whatever else these guys do. And there'll be somebody else in there who doesn't have one fucking clue about the case. January 20th at 9 a.m. I think we're going to set up an event that day, so if you guys could be there to pack the courtroom, that would be fantastic. It's courtroom C105. Again, we're going to create an event. We'll set up a, somebody said that they're going to told me they were going to help set up a GoFundMe or what have you, to help me with the purge amount. And, but until I get this support order finally rectified to where it's set at a reasonable amount, until I get that done, I'm going to keep getting held in contempt. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep getting held in contempt. Told the judge this over a year ago, that it was only a matter of time, Your Honor. It's not a matter of if, but when I come see you for contempt, because there's no way in hell, even on making $70,000 a year, can I afford $2,500 a month average in child support. Now, some of you don't understand Illinois child support. It works like this. I've got 2 children here that are part of this custody case. So it's 28% of net income currently. But then judge has judicial discretion to add on top of the 28%, so 28% of net. Then they also can add on 50% of child care, which that's been running me about another $500 plus a month, plus 50% of extracurricular activities, which have been averaging $333 a month on my end, just my end. So over $600 a month, or no, 333 month total. I'm sorry, 150, I think. So anyways, depending on how much child care she uses in the course of a month and how much she forks out for extracurricular activities, that's the other part of my child support. That's why this whole stack of useless ass receipts and shit are for that I got over here. Randy, yeah, the only thing that I found I could possibly compromise with my ex would be if I were to start a shotgun and put a $1 million life insurance policy on myself. She would be okay with that compromise. Other than that, no. Yeah, anything that's completely beneficial, 100% beneficial to her, she's okay with. But if it benefits the children, nope, not okay with that. If it would mean me spending more time with the kids, nope, not okay with that. If it means she gets less money, nope, not okay with that. There's no reasoning or compromising with a narcissistic sociopath. There just isn't. Just not. And that's the sad truth of the matter, you know. It's a broken system that enables and empowers abusive people to continue and further their abuse upon their victims. That's what it is. That's what family law is. Over 20 million American children growing up in this country without a biological father. That is not because there's 20 million deadbeat dads running around out there. That's because we have a system that is built and designed to take a parent and drive them out of their children's life, encouraging alienation behavior out of the other parent, while punishing people like myself that absolutely cannot afford these unreasonable child support orders. And more, it's occurring to moms, where moms have these abusive men who run them through the ringer, who scare them and victimize them, and they're able to continue that behavior through a court system that encourages and protects abusers. And why is that the case? Well, because you got pedophiles and sociopaths running the entire system to begin with. They get some sick, twisted sense of fucking gratification off watching people suffer. I think that they actually honestly enjoy watching you break down in tears and see the anguish and the hurt and the fear on your face every time you walk into their courtroom, because they hold this power over you, or they feel that they do. They hold this power over you that they can just do with your life as they will. And they do, because we let them. We let them do it. When we say fucking no more, enough is enough, we're not tolerating this shit anymore, and we put our fucking feet down and say, fuck you, no. You're not doing that to me anymore. Same with our legislators. All of them, the whole fucking lot of them. It's an abusive system ran by abusive people. And everywhere through this country, from Washington, from Alaska or Hawaii to Florida to Puerto Rico. Oh shit, it's even in Canada and Australia and the UK, Ireland. I mean, it's fucking everywhere. India. When the people have had enough, that's when we'll be done with this shit of a system. When we've had enough. So, yeah. Quit signing their fucking contracts. Amen to that, Robert. I wish I would have known 15 months ago what I know now. So that's it, my friends. Just over 2 weeks. I hope that military service was for something. You know what I mean? I hope it was for something. We're going to find out soon enough. You know what? I would recommend, if you guys are going to send letters, send them to the Chief Justice, Ortiz. Judge Ortiz, I believe is his name. Send them to him. I mean, Salvi and his fucking cohorts probably just sit in the back and laugh at him. Be honest with you.
Who's his superior?
Chief Judge Ortiz.
Yeah. Whoever is that.
I don't know. Maybe we flood the governor's office. That might be something we need to do. Flood the governor's office with phone calls and emails. Inundate them. Randy, we're gonna list all that with the on the event page. So when the event page is created, we'll put all the contact information in there for you guys to send. Yeah, Anthony, I know it. I talked to that guy in person. So I don't really want to go to jail, but again, whatever happens, happens. We'll just have to see what happens, you know what I mean? Yeah, local legislators here, that's another option. But they're all in bed with one another. You know what I mean? They're all in bed with one another. All the local legislators are in bed with one another, with the judges and the sheriffs and everything else. And here's one that kills me, man. So I know the Lake County Sheriff's Department, they watch all my videos. It's pretty funny, actually. But I'm talking with a guy here the other night, and works for the Sheriff's Department. And the guy has been through something similar. Even through the same, I believe through the same, through the same courthouse. Been through the same courthouse. He's having to fork out $1,500 a month in child support. He has 50-50 custody, mind you. 50-50 custody. So this goes back to some of the idiots who say, well, you help make the child, you should have to help support the child. No shit, Sherlock. But this guy's got, he's a sheriff's deputy, has 50-50 custody through this fucking courthouse, the very same fucking courthouse, has to pay like $1,500 a month in child support. But for me, I'm like, dude, it happened to you. You see the inequality and unfairness in that here you have 50% custody of your children. You are helping to raise your kids 50% of the time, but yet you still must pay $1,500 a month in child support. And I'm trying to explain to him Title IV defunding and how that provides a federal incentive to the state for child support order collection. That, dude, you're even working for the same fucking people that fucked you over. I get it, it's your paycheck and you need to provide a living for your children, but where do we as a country begin to divide or separate our ideals and our beliefs and what we hold dear and saying, you know what, that's more important to me than a fucking paycheck, than some money. If you can't hold true to the Constitution, and I know that that's hard, believe me. After 20 years in the military, I learned a lot of stuff the last couple of years of my service about the Constitution and what I should have been protecting. I learned a lot. But once you see and you begin to really know and understand that the system is broken and it needs to be fixed, it takes good men and women with courage who are willing to stand up and say, you know what, this paycheck, no, this paycheck ain't worth what you're doing to people. Okay, what you're doing is wrong. And I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to take a paycheck and be a part of that. I would hope at some point in time that individual citizens, that at least what they have inside them, you know, would go off and say, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this to people. We shouldn't be taking our citizens and exploiting them and their families for profit. I'm not going to be a part of that. You know, I've got a lot of friends that are police officers, a bunch. And we disagree on a lot of things. We disagree on a lot of things about the laws of the states. One of the most common things I hear is, you know, hey, bro, it's nothing personal, man. It's just, this is my job. No, and that's where I have to correct them. Your job is to protect the people, to protect their rights. That's true public safety. True public safety isn't showing up to my house 30 minutes after I've been robbed. True public safety is ensuring that you are protecting citizens' rights from infringement from another citizen or from some corrupt fucking bureaucrat in a robe. That's your job. To serve and protect. How are you serving the people? You're not really serving the people if you're running around as a tax collector. Because that's what you are. You're a tax enforcer. Yeah, a lot of these cops, they believe their own bullshit. And I hear I didn't write the laws, I just enforce them. Try that one again? Well, you know what? You didn't write the fucking Constitution either. Could you try enforcing that maybe? I don't know, just a thought. When we're doing drug bust, this is how far off base our country is. We're doing drug bust on like some fucking 22-year-old college pothead who's peddling a little pot out of his fucking trailer in the backwoods of freaking Oklahoma. We'll spend taxpayer dollars to do that. We'll spend taxpayer dollars to take a parent like me who wants to be involved and to raise their kids. We'll lock them up. So we'll spend the taxpayer dollars to lock up citizens like myself. We will continuously waste taxpayers' dollars and never get to the root of any fucking problems. How is it these assholes can never get to the root of any problems? I'll tell you why. They don't want to get to the root of it. Because if you got to the root of it, that means you find the problem where it begins and you implement a solution so you no longer have that same fucking problem. But that doesn't continue the entitlement programs that we have through Title IV D&E funding. The entitlement programs for the states. Or, the misuse and misappropriation of funds for the Violence Against Women's Act that steals money from actual victims and rewards people who would rather go in and tell a whole slew of lies to get an order of protection. And we don't criminalize that. We don't criminalize stealing money or misappropriating money out of the Violence Against Women's Act for money that should be for actual victims, but yet what it really goes to is to fund organizations like the Safe House down here in Lake County, Illinois, where I had to go do supervised visitation and pay $35 an hour for my 1 hour a week supervised visitation, even though I was never charged with any crime in this country. Never been charged with a crime in my life, ever. But I treat you like a criminal. That's where I don't even know if I can pronounce that.
It's okay, I put it in the comments.
Yeah, Marina was showing me. Let me see that. That's pretty funny. Yeah, we live in a. I've never even heard of this term. I am from the backwoods, Louisiana, though. A cockistocracy. Is it a cockristoc? Is it a cockistocracy? Is that what? Marina posted it, so if I pronounce it wrong, blame it on her.
Oh, it's backwards.
No, it's backwards. It's a government by the least qualified, most stupid members.
Yep, that's a cockistocracy.
Yep, that's a cockistocracy.
It's really in your teeth.
I got food stuck in my teeth.
Right in the front.
None of you guys told me that? All right.
You're looking at yourself. You didn't see that?
No, I can't see it. Government characterized by gross incompetence and or corruption. That's exactly what we live in. That is exactly what we live in. Our country is ran by a bunch of idiots. You know why most of our country is ran by idiots? Because you have a lot of uninformed, uneducated people voting these idiots into office. You know what? And that's just what I believe. Very uninformed, very uneducated people who believe that men like Donald Trump, and I'm sorry, I'm not on the Donald Trump bandwagon. I haven't been from the get-go, because I don't believe that a billionaire or multimillionaire could possibly relate to what the fuck I go through on a daily basis. I just don't. You know, here we got the governor of Illinois right now. This ass wagon. I forget how much, hundreds of millions of dollars he pledged to his campaign a couple years ago. And he's turned right around and he's going to run for re-election. This guy's going to run for re-election here in Illinois, right? We've had one of the highest murder rates in recent history here in the state. Our state is failing miserably. The state of Illinois is a fucking dumping ground for idiots. And these idiots, and I'm not talking about just the citizens, that's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about these people in office. They haven't fixed jack or shit. They haven't fixed not one red fucking thing have they fixed in this state. They can't balance a budget. They can't balance a budget. The murder rate's through the roof. We go about our daily lives as though it's the same old, same old. You know what? No big deal. 5 more kids killed in Chicago this weekend. Nothing to see here. Put my blinders on. Nothing to see here. You know what I'm willing to do? I'm willing to pick up a fucking hammer, some nails, a shovel, and take my ass into South Side Chicago and start fixing shit from the ground up. You know what I mean? To get into the trenches and fix things, you got to be in the fucking trenches. You don't do it from your fucking Bentley at the governor's mansion, you jacktards. These are the type of people that we put in office, though. They make all these fucking... You know what? I don't have all the answers. I don't know one red fucking thing about running a state. Nothing. First one to admit it. But obviously, none of these other motherfuckers do, now do they? Because had they, I'm pretty certain we would have seen some successes by now. And we haven't...
They know how to work in the brain.
I haven't seen shit. I mean, in the state of Illinois, I'm pretty certain our commander-in-chief lived and served here for a while. Where's he been? Where's he been? Down in his old neighborhoods, down there in Chicago, kids killing themselves left and right. Where the fuck are you at, Mr. President?
Golf course. On vacation.
We've got Native Americans having pipelines driven through their territories, unimpeded nearly, except for the fact that they got some backbone and they stood up and said, fuck you, we're not taking it anymore. You ain't been out there. I mean, where are these legislators at? You want people who are going to fix this country, it's the people that will get into the trenches with you and stand next to you to fix these fucking problems. That's how they get fixed. You don't fix fucking problems from behind your camera and your fucking microphone at whatever press conference you got your ass propped up at. You don't fix shit that way. How the fuck would I know what was really going on in Standing Rock besides what my gut was telling me if I didn't go out there and put my boots on the fucking that God put in the state of North Dakota? How would I know? I wouldn't have. That's what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to get into the fucking trenches and actually fix it. And you fix shit by getting in there just like the Amish do. They got to build a home. Guess what? All the citizens of that community come together. They work together and they get that home built. If we want to build a better home in our country, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. Not from a fucking press booth somewhere with a microphone shoved up my ass. Although it might make for a good fucking show. 16 days, my friend. 16 days. I'm gonna get off here. I've rattled on long enough.
Gotta call Johnny Banker.
Yeah, I gotta make a few phone calls. I called Johnny and a few other people. You guys keep pressing hard. Appreciate your love and support. I really do. I appreciate it a lot. You know what I mean? Even from people that I haven't agreed with so much here recently. We haven't really seen eye to eye on a lot of things, but they still reached out to support me, and I appreciate that. So even to those people where we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, thank you for your support. It doesn't go unnoticed. Sure will, Nathan. You guys all have a great night, man. Love all of you immensely, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Johnny's gonna call you.
Worst thing you can do is nothing. Remember that. That's the worst thing you can do is nothing. All right, Anthony. I'll keep that in mind, brother. You guys have a great night. I'll talk with y'all tomorrow. Be 15 and wake up tomorrow.